hover your mouse at the bottom so you can see the present button. Okay, so click that button, so it will show the pop-up, share your entire screen. Click that, and then it will show the pop-up, so click share it. Okay, Tata, you can turn off your video, it's not required. Okay, okay, fine. Okay, open your command prompt, Manasa.
Yeah.
Only for Manasa, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have opened. Sundar.
Yeah, okay, one sec. The screen is lagging.
Okay.
Okay. Execute the command npm install -g space Cordova space Ionic. You already installed? Scroll up a
Yes.
little bit.
Okay. Enter.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, it's installed now. Execute the Ionic -v. Whether you can type it. Ionic -v. Ionic space -v. Okay. Ionic. INONIC space -v. Hit enter.
Yeah. Space V or
Okay, one sec. Some screen lagging is there. No. Okay, yeah, just click the settings at the bottom. You can see the settings. Okay, so inside that, go to the network, change the settings to standard definition instead of high definition. So you can see the present button here, right? So the next to that, you can see the hamburger menu, right? Click that. You can see settings on that, and go to the network tab, and you can choose the standard definition for sending and receiving. Okay. Ionic. Ionic is not. Okay, can you close the command prompt and reopen it again and try it? Uh,
Hello.
yeah.
Sundar, I think so. She need to change that path. Maybe.
No, but it's installed, right?
Yeah, it's installed.
So when it is installing, it should execute. Execute Ionic -v.
ION. I think so. Hyphen B.
no, it's not.
Hmm. Okay, no problem. I will connect through the TeamViewer by tomorrow. Okay, so maybe some path setup will be there. Okay,
Oh,
so we will fix it today. So we will learn the basic today. Okay, it's not much required. So just have a look on that. Okay, so we are not going to like a deep anything today. Okay,
okay, fine.
okay guys. You can stop sharing, Manaza.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'm just presenting my screen. Okay, so let me know once everyone is got the screen. Okay, can you see your screen?
Yeah.
Okay, everyone.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, yes.
Okay, fine. Okay, so for starting with the project, we need to learn some few commands. Okay, so it will be around 5 to 6 commands. Okay, I will execute one by one. You can keep a note on that. Someone will start recording the session. Okay, so it's better to share it for someone else. Okay, so for creating a new project, so this is the command. So you can keep note on that. Ionic star and your project name. Okay, so anything like first or hello world, anything like that. Okay, without space, it should be a single word. And then we can start with the template name. So Ionic is providing a multiple templates like a blank and a tab. Okay, so these are the major templates which is provided by Ionic. So we will start from the blank template only. Okay, so in your free time you can have a look on that how the tab is working and how the side menu is working. But you don't want to work on that. So at last session we will see how to add the tab and side menu. Okay, so we will start from the blank. Okay, so this is the command for creating a new project. Okay, so whenever you are executing the command, so it will create a new project. Okay, so for your working directory you can create some folder on your desktop or somewhere D drive or somewhere you want. Okay, so make sure create one directory. Inside the directory you need to execute this command. Okay, so once the project is created, so when you execute it will example I'm executing hello. So it will take some time to execute. Okay, it will download around 100 MB, something like that. Okay, so once it is executed, so you can go to the working directory. It will create a new folder for you. Okay, like hello. So if you open the hello folder, so you can see multiple files and folders inside that. So I will explain it now. Okay, so I'm just canceling instead of wasting the time here. So I already created a blank project as a first one. Okay, and the next thing is, so once you create a project you need to change your working directory. So our working directory is the first application. Okay, so this is the second thing you need to do. And the third thing is you need to execute ionic serve. This ionic serve, it will run your project on the browser. Okay, so we have seen 3 commands. One is ionic start, your project name, and the template name. So as of now the template name is a blank, and then you need to change your working directory, cd space your folder name, and then ionic serve, that is the third command. Okay, keep note on that. So when I execute ionic serve, so it will take few seconds to run your application on the browser. Okay, okay, so this is the blank template. So you can see it, right? So some header is there, some text is inside that. Okay, can everyone see that?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the blank template. So this is the third command. Okay, keep note on that. So we created a project, changed the directory, and we execute the ionic serve. The ionic serve is a command used for creating, used for running your application on the browser. Okay, so you can develop the UI part and the web service part from the browser itself. Okay, if you are developing anything related to the device specific stuff, then we need the device. Okay, for example, if you want to take a picture from the camera, however you need to run it on the device. Okay, but if you want to access the web gallery, something kind of that, so not gallery, so something like web service kind of that, so you don't need a device anymore. Okay, so you can start creating the user interface and displaying some images, everything from the browser you can do it. Okay, so the best practice, create the UI first, later we can work with the device specific functionalities. Okay, so this is the second command. So I'm just stopping the ionic serve. Okay, so to stop that you need to execute control C. Okay, uh, for a Mac user, so whatever I'm entering here, that is the same for all 3 platforms. Okay, whether you are running on the Windows, Linux, or Mac. Okay, so commands are same for the all platforms. Okay, and we have one more command is there. So ionic serve --lab. Okay, lab means, so here when we execute Ionic serve, it just to open on the single window, right? So, but we are developing application for three different platform. Okay, so if you want to see the output on the three platform, so we can execute Ionic serve hyphen hyphen lab. Okay, just I'm just executing. It will open the browser now. Okay, so here you can see it's running on the browser. At top right corner, I can see iPhone, Android, Windows. Okay, so I'm just choosing that. So here you can see we have the multiple screens. Okay, so one is for iPhone, one is for Android, and one is for Windows. You cannot see a huge change now, but when we add the plugin or when we add the UI components, you can see it. Okay, but even now you can see it for iOS. The title it's center aligned. Okay, because the native iOS, the title most of the iOS application you can see the title will be center aligned. For Android, you can see. For Windows also you can see. Okay, so you can see the font is different. Okay, so the font is a native font of your Android, iOS, Windows development. Okay, so if you want to see the output on all three platforms, you can execute Ionic serve hyphen hyphen lab. Okay, but we don't need that because when we refresh that, it will take a few seconds to refresh. We don't want to use that. Okay. In the UI, you can execute Ionic serve and you can have a look on that how the UI looks on multiple platforms. Okay. So to stop that, again, you can cancel it, Control C. Okay. So I'm executing Ionic serve here. Open it again.
Okay. Hello?
Yeah. Hello.
Sorry, not.
Okay. So we are running our application on the Ionic serve. Okay. So as of now, do you have any doubt? So you got a idea with how to run the application on the browser, right? Doubts?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay, then we will learn the project structures. Okay. Okay. So I'm just opening this project with my editor. Okay. So here I'm going to use the Visual Studio Code. Okay. I suggest everyone use the Visual Studio Code. Okay. Because for a class we are going to use Visual Studio Code. Okay, it doesn't matter whether you are using a Sublime Text or some IDE, okay, some Eclipse or something. Whatever you are familiar, you can utilize that. It doesn't matter. The IDE doesn't matter. Okay, so Visual Studio is my familiar one, so I'm just using that. So if I'm opening the Visual Code and I just want to open my first project. I think it's already there. Okay, so just drag and drag. Okay, so I opened the project here. Okay, so I will explain the project structure here. So how the files and what are the files. Okay, so when I open the first project, so I can see multiple files and multiple folders inside that. I will explain one by one. So the dot Gradle is a hidden folder, so which is used for building an Android APK. Okay, so Gradle is a supporting file which is used for building your application. Okay, but we never work with that. Okay, so and the hooks is the folder. So if you want to automate the something like testing or automating the building version, so you can write some code inside the hooks, but we never work with that. Modules, it's a dependency manager for your particular project. Okay, so if you are installing any third-party node modules, so everything will be keep inside the node modules. Okay, so whenever we are adding the third-party module, so it will be inside the node module. Okay, but we don't manually do everything. Okay, so when you execute the command, so everything will do it automatically for us. Okay, so but just by executing the command, it will works. And the platform is the folder, so which is used for managing your platform. Okay, so you can add multiple platform, Android, iOS, Windows. Okay, but unfortunately you cannot run your application. For example, you cannot run your iOS application from the Windows, and the same vice versa. So you cannot run the Windows application on the Mac because they are the competitor. So they are not allowing to develop the iOS application on the Windows machine. Okay, but you don't want to worry about that. So whatever you are writing the code for Android, 100% it will be work for the iOS device. Okay, so
Hello. Hello.
related to the Touch
Uh,
ID. So Touch ID means
Hello.
it's a specific device. Yes.
Uh, yeah, I have a
Hello.
doubt. Means I didn't understand about. I cannot run application from Windows in for iOS.
Yeah. So we are building our application, right?
Yeah.
So for a testing, you cannot build a iOS application on the Windows machine. Okay. You can develop only for Windows and the Android application. Okay.
Okay. So
It's meaning to the building. Okay. But
okay.
like whatever code we are writing, so if you copy the code and if you build it on the Mac, it will work like a magic. Okay, you got
Okay.
it right. But you, because the Apple, they are not supporting for the Windows, so that's why we cannot develop a iOS application on the machine. Okay, you got it right.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, but you
Hello,
don't want to worry
Siddharth.
about that. So whatever code you are writing, it will work. Okay, no problem on that.
So I
Yeah.
basically
Hello.
I cannot test, but it will work finally. No.
Yes.
Okay.
Means the code which we are developing in this tool, that we will
Hmm.
copy to the Xcode, something like which we are using for development, iOS development. We will copy
Yes.
to that and we'll generate a build in that only.
Uh, yeah, not to copy, just copy the entire project, add the platform, run it. That's it. Okay. So
Okay.
everything with a few commands only. Okay. So you don't want to go for the toughest part. Okay.
Sure, sure.
Any other doubts?
No.
Okay. So then I will teach you how to add the platform to this folder. Okay. So here I have added Android and iOS. I will teach you how to add the platform. So go to your working directory. Okay. So I'm just opening a new command prompt. Okay. So this is my working directory. So here I need to execute the following command: Ionic Cordova platform add Android. Okay. Keep note on that. Ionic Cordova platform add Android. Okay. And for iOS, same thing. So Ionic Cordova platform add iOS. Okay. So if we execute this command, so it will create a folder inside the platforms. Okay. So here you can see I already added Android and iOS. So here you can see. Okay. So for adding the platform, it will take a few seconds. Okay, around 30 to 60 seconds. Okay. So please wait for that. So once the platform is added, so you can find that. Okay. So nothing more than that. Then if you open the plugins folder, so here you can see list of plugins. Okay, so these are the default plugin which is added by the Ionic team itself. Okay, so in an Ionic development, everything is a plugin. So when you are accessing the device specific stuff, everything is a plugin. For example, if you want to take a picture, so you need to add the camera plugin. If you want to access the location, you need to add the location plugin. Okay, geolocation. And if you want to display the map, you need to install the Google Map plugin. And if you want to have a login with Facebook, so Facebook plugin you need to install. Okay, so Google Plus, you need to install the Google Plus plugin. Okay, so for that you can just go to the Ionic framework documentation. So yesterday I have shown you, right, the Ionic native part. So have a look on that and just keep look on that. So what are the plugins are available? Okay, so for adding the plugin, so we need to execute the command Cordova plugin and then plugin name. Okay, so here you need to type the plugin name so that we will learn it later. Okay, so as of now it's not required. So just the command you can note it. Okay, so Ionic Cordova plugin and add your plugin name. Okay, so here it's going to be your plugin name. Okay, so that's just a command. Okay, then we can see one more folder. So that is called resources. So this resources folder is used for managing our icon and the splash screen for your application. So there is only for icon and splash screen. Okay, so if you are adding any images, you cannot manage inside the resources. Okay, so there is resource folder is only for icon and splash screen. Okay, so that's it about the resource folder. And so this src folder is your working directory. Okay, so we will write and we will spend every time inside the src folder only. Okay, so it has a lot of inner files, so I will explain it very soon. And then the ww folder, so this ww folder is a final output for your project. Okay, so when I expand the ww folder, I can see some index.html, something inside that. Okay, so if I execute this index.html, so every, like, whatever you written and whatever it's running on the ionic serve, it will run it on the browser. Okay, without serving. I'm just going to the www folder and executing index.html. The same output, I can see it on the browser. Okay, so this is the final output for your www folder, but don't write or don't change anything inside the www folder. Okay, every code you are writing, it will be compiled and the final output will be stored inside the www folder. So that is what here the ionic serve is doing. Okay, so when we execute the ionic serve, it executed some few commands, right, and it's running on the browser. So here it's like actually the compilation process. So whatever code we are writing inside the src folder, it's compiled and compressed, and whatever some minification is there, and it will finally put inside the www folder. Okay, but we never work inside that. Just for understanding, the www folder is your final output. Okay, and this editor config is relevant to the visual code, we don't touch that. And git ignore, it's for a git project. And config.xml, so this config.xml, it's a property for your application. Okay, so if you want to change the application name, so when you create an application, so you created something like a my app, so that is your application name. So that is by default. Okay, and the description about your application name, and the developer email id, and the developer website, and the developer name. Okay, and you can set a lot of properties inside there, but so you don't worry about that. So whenever you are executing the command, so ionic command, it will do it for you. Okay, so you don't want to add and you don't want to touch this code. Okay, so only few things will change it. So this widget id. Okay, so what is this widget id means? So this is the unique identity for your application. Maybe when you go to the Play Store and App Store, you may find a few applications with the same name, with the same icon also. Okay, so for identifying the difference between the application, so we use this unique ID. In Android, we call it as a package name. In iOS, we call it as a bundle ID. Okay, here it's just a widget ID. So this should be unique. Okay, so across the world, so this is the unique identifier for your application. To create this unique ID, we have some standard. Okay, so consider you are working in the XYZ company. So the XYZ company is having the website called xyz.com. Okay, to make this unique ID, so you need to follow com.xyz. So your website name in reverse, your website name dot your application name. Okay, so it makes sense. For example, if you are working for a Singapore based company, the same XYZ on Singapore, so sg.xyz.application name. Okay, so this is for unique identifier. It doesn't matter, you can follow this rule or not. Okay, but it should be unique across the globe. Okay, so you can follow that standard. And when we are releasing the next version, so we need to update this version number also. Okay, so as of now, it's a 0.0.1. So for a development, you don't want to change it for every build. Okay, so once you publish your application to the market, so if you are again republishing it, so you need to change it. Okay, so apart from that, we never work with it. And then the app name, and then app description, developer information. So the config.xml is used for that only. Okay, and so we have something like ionic config package, like package.json, and something related to the JSON. Okay, so these are the manager for the dependencies. Okay, so Ionic will do it for you again, so you don't want to worry about that. Okay, so any doubts with the project structure, guys?
No.
Okay, fine. Okay, then I will explain the src folder. So the src folder is your working directory, I already told you. Okay, so inside the src folder, you can find a few projects inside that. One is an app folder, assets folder, and pages, themes, index.html, manifest.json, service workers. Okay, so this manifest.json service it's related to the application property or dependency. Okay, we don't want to work with that. And the index.html, so obviously in the development, so index.html is going to be our first page. Okay, so when you open the index.html, so they have included something, and so they did something. Okay, so what it will do, So when you execute Ionic serve, so final output will be it will go to the build folder and the main.css, something like that, and the polyfill, something like that. If you go to the www folder, so you can see it. Okay, so the build, it has the css javascript file, something like that. Okay, so these are the reference. Okay, don't touch anything with the index.html. So it will be in the final output. Okay, so we don't work with the index.html. Okay, and I think our working directory will be the app folder. Okay, so I will explain what is app folder and what is pages. Okay, so in Ionic development, so when you are creating a new page, it will generate three files for you. Okay, so one is .html and one is .sass file and one is .typescript file. Okay, so this .html is used for layouting your application. Laying means, so here we have the header, right? So header component and something like a content component like that. So if you are creating a button, so that is called a button component. Okay, if you are creating some list view, so that is called a list component. Okay, so to create that kind of layout, we use the HTML. Okay, here if I open that, I have some Ion header, Ion content. So this is the header, and so this is the content. So we wrote in something is there. Okay, so don't have a look on that code. Okay, so it may be a little bit confusing, and I will explain it later. Home.sass file is used for styling your application. Okay, styling the application means, so whenever you're writing the code inside the home.sass file, so it's a css code only. Okay, so normal css code only. So whenever you're writing a code with the home.sass file, so this style it only applicable for this home.html. Okay, for example, if you're creating one more page, so this, for example, you create an about page. Okay, so about page also you may find all three files, .html, .sass, and .typescript. Okay, so if you are writing any style on the about.sass file, it won't be reflect on the home.sass file. Okay, so everything will have the it has a totally independent. Okay, and the same thing for the TypeScript. Okay, so TypeScript I will explain. Don't bother about the code. Okay, TypeScript, it's a super set of JavaScript. Okay, so we have the lot of advantage with the TypeScript, so we will explain it one by one. Okay, okay. So this is the folder structure, and this is the page structure. So whenever you are creating a new page, okay. So let's come to the app folder. So this app folder page, it's not a home page, it will be the root page for your application. Okay, so whenever you open the application for a first time, so this app folder will execute. Okay, so inside the app folder we have the app.html, right? So this app.html, it will execute as your first page. Okay, you got it right. So this app.html, it will have some sass file, like other pages having some sass and TypeScript, right? So the same here. So app.html has app.sass file, and for a TypeScript, it will use the app.component.ts. Okay, so guys, any doubt? Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Any doubts?
No, don't have.
Okay, fine. So app folder, it has a three page. One is app.html and one is app.component.ds. So this is the relevant to the TypeScript, and app.sass file is used for styling the app.html. Okay, and the app folder is going to be execute as a first page for your application. Okay, and you can see one more file that is called app.module.ts. So what is this app.module.ts? So whenever you are adding the plugin or whenever you are adding the dependency, so we need to make sure, we need to tell the Ionic application, I have added this dependency. Okay, so please make use of that. So this app.module.ts, it's a dependency manager for your application. Okay, so if you are creating a new page, you need to declare here. So if you are creating a new service, you need to declare here. And if you are adding any plugin, so you need to declare here. So if you forget to declare here, it won't work. Okay, so it's a dependency manager for your application. Okay, so that is the purpose of app.module.ts. Okay, so this is the app folder and the pages folder. So the pages folder, so whenever we create a new pages, so it will
Hello.
create inside the pages folder.
Hello.
Okay, so we will learn how to create a page in upcoming sessions.
I think
And this
in app folder there was one more file.
main.ts,
Yeah.
right? So it's kind of supporting file, okay? So you don't want to worry about that, okay?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Then the assets folder is used for managing your media file. Okay. So if you want to have images or PDF, something related. Okay. So you can copy it and paste inside the assets folder. So we can make use of that. Okay. So the pages folder is used for managing the pages. So we will learn how to add a new pages through the command prompt in upcoming thing. Okay. So every pages it will be keep inside the pages folder. Okay. And we have the theme folder. So inside the theme folder you can see something like a variable.sas. So what is this variable.sas file means? So in traditional coding we use the CSS code. For example, here take this example. So the header color, so consider the header color is a blue color. Okay, so you created a five pages with the blue color. Okay, so what the client is suddenly they don't like the blue color, so I want to change it for a green. Okay, and you created some buttons with the blue color, something like that. Okay, so the entire app theme is based on the blue. Okay, but the client want to change it. Okay, what we actually do, so we will go every file and we will update the color code. Okay, so if it is a small project, that is fine, but if it is a big project, it's really irritating stuff. Okay, so that's why the SAS file is providing some variables. Okay, so variables means you can create a color variable, how you are creating variables on the some other programming language. So create a variable, constant variable, so we can make use of the constant variable to declare anywhere. Okay, so here the Ionic by default they are providing 5 colors. Okay, so primary is a blue color, secondary is a green color, danger is a red color. So something like that. If you want to create your own color, so you can create here, or if you want to rewrite a new color for the existing one, you can do it. Okay, but if you don't like the primary, so you can delete it. Okay, so it's on your hand. You can utilize of the color code. Okay, and so whenever we are writing the code, instead of using the color code, you can use the color variable. Okay, so the same thing. So comes to the story again. So the client want to change the blue color to the green color. So you don't want to go to the all files. Just come to the variable.sas file, change the blue color to the green color. Okay. So update here, it will reflect on all files. Okay. So that is the reason of the variable.sas file. Okay. Any doubts? Everyone?
Can you explain me one more thing, that app something is there no inside that?
Yes. Okay. So I will explain it again.
Yeah,
So the
app
SRC folder
component.
is our working directory. So inside the SRC, we have the app folder.
Yeah. Hello. 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 Sundar, we can't hear you.
I think he is disconnected.
Hello. Hello.
I think Sundar is disconnected.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yes.
he is not in the list.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you understood the app folder, assets folder, right? Pages. Any doubts here? I may want to
Inside
explain it
that
again.
app.
Yeah.
Inside
So
that
inside the
app.
app folder, so we have 3 files. Okay. One
App
is a
component.
app.html, app.component.ts. It's a TypeScript for app.html. App.sas file is a style sheet for your app.html. Okay. So these are the 3 files. Main.ts it's kind of supporting file. Okay. Don't worry about that. And we have one more file that is called app.module.ts. So the purpose of app.module.ts
No sound. Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
one sec. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
I
Yeah,
don't
we
know why
can
it's
hear you.
going mute. Okay, it's sometimes it's going to mute. Okay. Okay, so I will explain it again. HTML file is used for layout, and app.component.ts it's TypeScript for your app.html, and app.sass file is going to be the style sheet for your app.html. App.module.ts is going to be the dependency manager for your application. Okay, so without declaring inside the app.module.ts, nothing will work. Okay, whether you are creating a new
Champa,
page or adding the plugin or adding any third-party dependencies. Okay, so
Champa,
everything should be declared
थोड़ा
inside the
पानी दे देना ना.
app.module.ts. Okay.
So you mean it's very important to declare all things, right?
Yes, of course. So without declaring, it won't work. Okay. So you must declare.
Either plugin or either a new class or
Yes.
new
New
name.
page name or a new thing, anything. Okay.
Oh,
Okay. Any other doubts?
Bag में होगा bottle.
no.
Okay. Fine. Okay. So instead of going to the app dot thing, so I just go to the home page. Okay. Okay. So we will see how the coding is working here. Okay. So when I see the home.html, it's something like a XML code, okay? So they have the ion header, some navbar, something is there, right? So these are the tags which is created by the Ionic team, okay? So when you call the particular tag, some style will apply, okay? So you can refer the Ionic documentation for that. Okay, just go to the Ionic framework documentation. Yeah, so inside that you can see a lot of components, okay? Let it load. Okay, so here just go to the components. So you can see a lot of components there. Okay, so I'm just going to utilize something from that. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to utilize some ion batch. So batch means some round, something like that. So inside that we are going to display. Okay, so to display the batch, so they have some custom code. Okay, so ion batch, and they have some property. Okay, the property is the color for the batch, and they have the closing tag. So in between that you can pass the value. Okay, it's kind of HTML, not a kind of, it's exactly like a HTML. So but they have created their own tags. Okay, so I'm just rewriting everything, so I deleted everything. Okay, so usually for creating an application, so usually what we will have, so one header we will have, and content we will have, and the footer we will have. Okay, so we are creating, so for creating a header you can just go to the documentation and search for header. There is a header, or you can just go to the API documentation, so inside that also you can get it. Header, yeah, here click the header, and here you can see some code is here. Okay, ion header, so inside the ion header they have the navbar and the toolbar, and then something like ion content. Okay, so like when you are practicing you can easily remember. Okay, but for a scratch I'm just copying and pasting on my home.html. Okay, so ion header, so ion header it has some ion navbar, so inside that they have some title that is called page one, and they have some toolbar, so we will see what it's going to be. Okay, so I'm just saving the file and go to the terminal. It will execute. Okay, so something it will execute. Make sure the build should be finished. Okay, usually the build will be in 5 seconds, something like that. Okay, in case if it is taking the time you can cancel it. Okay, so if it is taking more than 1 minute you can cancel it and execute the Ionic serve again. Okay, so once the build is finished you can go to the browser. So here you can see some, I can see some output here. So one is page header and one is some subheader. Okay, so whatever we written here, so I can see the output. Okay, so we can add some more with the content. Okay, so inside the content I'm just going to add some more tags. So um, I will add some inputs. Okay, so I'm just searching for the inputs. So here I can see some code here. Okay, so input has some ion list. Inside the list they have ion item, something like that. But for input, so So this is the tag for that. Okay, so they have applied some other styles as well, like a list view item. Okay, but input, this is what I required. Okay, just I'm copying and pasting inside the ion content. So I'm just adding the placeholder. Okay, I just save the file. So here you can see I can enter something. Okay, so let me add some button. So I'm just going to the button and searching. So the Ionic is providing multiple styles of button. Okay, basic, outline, clear. Okay, I will go with the outline button. So here I'm just clicking outline style. So here something is there. So button, so these are the property and color for the button. Okay, so I'm just copying this or and going here and pasting here. Okay, so just submit. Okay, so what it is written? So button, it's going to be ion button. So these are the property, and the color of the button is going to be danger. So the danger means it's a red color. Okay, it's declared inside the variable. Okay, so here you can see it's the red color. Okay, so theming part we will learn on the next session. So just understand the components. Okay, so like a danger, and they have some property. Outline means something, it will looks like this. Okay, if you are not declaring anything, it will take as a default. And if you mention the clear means the button goes to the no border, just a button. Okay, the round means so the button goes as a round. Okay, something is style is there, so you can have a look on that on your free time. So I'm just saving the file. So I'm coming back to the browser. So here you can see, so the button is displayed and the input is displayed. Okay, so this is how you can work with the layout part. Okay, so like how you are displaying something on that layout, so we can utilize the Ionic documentation, have a look on the component, and have a, so you can just look on the what is the component name and what is the tag for that. You can utilize that, and you can start building your UI. Okay, that is your layout. So this is the purpose of .html. Okay, this is the home.html. We created some layout on the home.html, so everything will be in the home.html. Do you have any doubt here? So if you are creating some about.html, you can you need to again you need to create a layout for the about.html. Okay, do you have any doubt here? Hello.
No, no doubt.
Okay, so this home.html, yeah.
So how to divide the screen into two parts?
Come ahead.
Come in next. How to divide the screen? The screen is there, right?
Yeah.
I need to divide
The
it into
screen?
two parts.
Oh, this screen, I think.
You have designed right this page.
Okay, two layouts, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you can Google it. I never did. Okay. You are asking about this coding part, right?
Yes,
Visual
yes,
code,
yes.
right? Okay, you can Google it. I never. Maybe you can. Some option will be there. I think split editor.
Okay.
I think yeah. Here it's set. Go to the view. Click the split editor. Okay. So two screen is there. Okay. Okay. Any doubts with the layout? No, right?
No.
Okay, so then I'm just adding some paragraph tag here. Okay, so some paragraph. So inside the paragraph, I'm just writing something. So I'm closing the tag. Okay, it's a normal CSS code. So I'm going to apply some style for the paragraph. Okay, so I'm just going to the home.sas file and I'm using the, so inside the page home. So you need to use paragraph and the color is going to be something red. Okay, so I'm just saving the file, both files. So coming back here. Okay, so here you can see some like whatever we have typed. So that is on the red color on the paragraph. Okay, and you need to notice. So this paragraph style is only applicable for the home.html. Okay, if I create the one more page, it won't be applicable on the particular page. Okay, so everything is totally independent. Okay, you got it? Guys, do you have any doubts?
Got it.
Yeah. Okay. Then we will learn about the TypeScript. So this home.ts, it's a TypeScript file where you can create the variables and functionalities for your home.html. Okay. I will explain this structure. Okay, don't worry about that. So usually this TypeScript contains the three part. One is first thing is the import. Okay, so import means so whenever, so it's totally shareable. Okay, so if you want to import something, or if you want to add some plugins, or if you want to utilize some APIs from the UI component, or if you want to display some UI component, so we need to import it first. So that is your import statement. And something will the component. So the component I will explain it later, and you will have the class. So whenever you are writing the code, you will write the code inside the class. Okay. And you know the oops concept. So whenever the class is called, so some constructor will be there, right? So constructor is a function which will execute whenever the class is called. Okay, I think it's a basic fundamentals of the oops concept. So whenever if you want to create an object, or if you want to initiate the variable, you can utilize the constructor. Okay. Okay. So this is the basic structure of your application. Okay, so everything you are writing inside the class name. Okay, I will give some introduction about the TypeScript. So I think some of the people will familiar with JavaScript, right? So in JavaScript, usually for creating a variable, so what we do, so we use variable and the variable name, and we will initiate the variable value, right? But in TypeScript, there is nothing called var. Okay, if you want to create any variable, just declare it. No need. Okay. And if you want to declare the data type of the variable, for example, the variable is going to be a number, so it's going to be number. Okay, nothing more than that. And if you want to initiate some value to the number, so you can declare it. In case if you are trying to declare something like this, it will throw the error because you declare as a number, but you are trying to make it as a string. Okay, so it will throw the error. But if you don't know anything about the data type, okay, you can declare as any. Any means, so you can declare something number here, and inside the constructor you can x equal to 9. Okay, it won't throw the any error because you declare as any. Okay, so any means it can be any data type. Okay, whether it's be a string, number, array, or JSON, whatever it is. Okay, if you don't know anything about your like a data type, you can declare as any. Okay, so mostly we use the any. Okay, so this is what any. Okay, and one more thing you need to notice in the TypeScript. So whenever we are accessing the a variable or object or a function, you need to use this dot and the variable name.
Hello.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
So is it necessary to declare as any? Let's say if I don't declare anything, then
Yeah, it will by default it will recognize as any. Okay.
So how it will behave like if I use plus operator on
Now
this?
the X will be a any. Okay, so it can be an array or.
Hello.
Got it right. By default, it will declare as any if you declare like this. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the variable. But in case if you want to create any constant, so you can use const and x equal to 5 or anything. Okay. So it cannot be changed. Okay. So if you are trying to make something like 6, it will throw the error because it's a constant. Okay. You got it right. So this is how you can create the variable. And for accessing the variable, you need to use this keyword. Okay. So whenever you are writing inside some functions, and if you want to access that variable, so you need to use this .x, something like this. Okay. So this is very important. So whenever you are reusing that a variable name. Okay. Do you have any doubt here? For creating variables and constant? Any doubts?
No.
Okay. So then for creating a function, so usually in traditional JavaScript, so what we usually do, so function and the function name, for example, say hello. So we use like this, okay? But in TypeScript, you don't want to add the keyword of function, okay? Just say hello. So you can write function here, okay? Anything, any code here. If you want to call the function from anywhere, you can use this dot, say hello. It will call automatically. You got it? Any doubts?
No.
Okay, fine. And so we will learn Fuse Index. So whenever we started coding, okay. And I will share some YouTube video link. You can have a look on that. There's a basic introduction about the TypeScript and ES6 syntax. Okay, something it's new to the market. You can have a look on that. Okay, ES6 syntax kind of thing. So I will share everything. YouTube videos kind of thing. So you can just have a look on that. Okay. 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 Then okay, I forgot to. Okay. Okay, so these are the three part with it will be in your code. So import. So if you want to utilize something from a like external or something like a class name, okay, it's a import and a export statement, okay. So you can use the import and the component. I think you are familiar with the class now. So this why we have the component means I already told you here, right? So whenever you call the ion header, so you can see some style is automatically applied, right? So whenever call the button and if I pass the property, some style is applying, right? So like that, if you want to create your own component, you can utilize that. Okay. So here in our scenario, you can take the example of this. Okay, so component, it has a selector and a template. Okay, it can be a template or a template URL. Okay, so one is a selector. So what is the selector? So what is this page home? Okay, so I will make it as a template. You can clearly understand.
Is it selector is a keyword or
Yeah, selector is a keyword. Yeah.
what about
Okay.
template?
The template is also keyword. So this is the user defined. Okay, so these are the predefined.
Is it compulsory to use both?
Yeah, it's not compulsory. Okay, so we never use this component in our coding. Okay, so just I make sure you are understanding every line. Okay.
Component in the sense any? For
Yeah,
example,
component means in a HTML, I told you, right? In if you go to the Ionic documentation, you can see Ionic component, right? So everything is a component. If you take the header, so header is one component. If you take a button, so button is one component. Okay.
something
And if
like
you take
UI,
a UI part only.
tell UI
Yeah.
part.
Yes. Okay. So why we are creating the component in? So that is for reusability. Okay. So in our project, so we have the header, right? So if you are
Means
creating a multiple
something to
page,
say something to say that custom UI.
yes, of course.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So in this scenario, the Ionic team, they have created the Ionic header and they applied some style for that. Okay. And we are utilizing this Ion header component for all of our project. Okay. As of now, we implemented in only like a home page. But if you create a multiple page, you just calling, right? So we are writing any style sheet for that. So the style is automatically applied. And the functionality in some cases, the functionality will also applied. Okay. So that is for the component. So that is the component. So own component. So this is the syntax at the rate of component, and the selector is the tag name. Okay. So in this scenario, so they use the ion header. Okay. So here you can use anything. Okay. So something like XYZ. Okay. So whenever you call the XYZ in some file, okay. So this template will apply. Okay. XYZ tag, it will be replaced by this template. Okay. You got it? Any doubts? Hello.
Yeah, we got it. We got it.
So this is for a single component or a single style, that is fine. But
Yeah.
if you are creating a huge file,
One
so
second. Here, component in the sense something like text, right?
not only text,
Normal
you can,
text. Means in your example.
if you want to reuse any of the HTML element, you can utilize that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Any doubts?
No, no.
Okay. Okay. So if it is a single URL or something kind of thing, but if you have hundreds of line, so instead of declaring here, you can declare a template URL, and you can create a separate file, and you can give the link for that. Okay. Something like home.html or anything. So whenever the XYZ call, it will get the code inside the home.html and it will display. Okay, you got it right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this is the purpose of component. Okay, so I'm just
It's
explaining.
reusable.
So that is the purpose of component. Okay, but we never utilize that. Okay, Ionic is doing it for us. Okay, so when you are creating a new page, so they will create a component and somewhere they will utilize automatically. Okay, you don't want to worry about that. Okay, so what we do actually in coding, we will import something, we will write inside the class name. Okay, we will write some functionality inside that. Okay, so nothing more than that. So this is the structure of TypeScript. So do you have any doubt in the coding structure?
No.
Okay, fine. Okay. Okay. So then we will do some a small project that is called the click counter. Okay. I am going to create one variable. Okay, that is going to be initially it's going to be 0. So when you click one button, the value will increase. Okay. So when you click another button, the value will decrease. Okay. So this is the small project we are going to do it now. Okay. So I'm just going to the home.html and delete it everything. Okay. So instead of deleting everything, so I'm just utilizing the header component. Okay. So counter app, and inside the ion content, I'm just utilizing the h1 component. Okay. So h1, and I'm going to create a 2 button. Okay. For a 2 button, I'm going to split the screen with a 2 pane. Okay. Equally divided. Okay. So that is called the grid system. Just go to the component. You can have a look on the grid. Here you can see ion grid. So this is the code for splitting the screen. Okay. So ion grid, ion row. So inside the ion row, they have column kind of thing. Okay. So I'm just utilizing.
I think your
So
screen is
instead of
stuck.
hello.
We can't able to see that screen.
Yeah, screen is stuck.
Okay. 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 I'm sorry. Just go to the Ionic components. You can see the grid. Can you see the screen now?
No.
Okay. Wait for some time. Can you see it now?
Something happened.
Okay. Just I stop the screen sharing. Share it again. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we can.
Okay. So I'm on the Ionic documentation. So I'm on the grid component. Okay. So for this reason only, I told you, right? So when I say the component name, you need to understand what is the grid. Okay. So just have a look on the documentation and make an understanding of the component names. Okay. So grid means it's used for dividing the screen. Okay. So Ion grid, it has multiple inner trees. Okay. So grid has the ion row, and ion row it has a column, and so we can utilize it. Okay. So instead of using this entire thing, so I'm just going to, I need two things, right? I need to have split the two screen. One is for increase button and one is for a decrease button. Okay. So I'm writing the code. You can see the screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to split the screen into the two parts. So I'm just splitting the screen by ion row and ion column. So ion call. So whenever you are calling the ion call, it will divide the screen by column. Okay. So if I call it for 2 times, it will divide the screen vertically. Horizontally, it will divide the screen for 2 times. Okay. So inside the column, I'm just creating a button.
We are not going to use div tag.
No more div tag. So we can utilize that, okay? But the Ionic itself, they are providing the component, you can utilize that, okay? Instead of writing your own style, instead of wasting your own time, so we can utilize that, okay? Okay, so I'm just creating a 2 button. I want decrease, decrease. Okay, I just saved the file. Okay, so let's see the output. Okay, so here you can see some decrease button is there and increase button is there. Okay, so you can notice it's splitted into the 2 screen and 2 buttons are separately displaying. Okay, so I have one more property that is called the block. Block means it will block the entire part. Okay, so these are the property name. Okay, you can just refer the documentation for that. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so now you can see the screen is splitted with the 2 same size buttons. Okay. Okay, then I'm going to create some variable. Okay, so the variable, for creating a variable, just go to the TypeScript file and I'm creating some variable here. Okay, so that's going to be some number, so it can be x. Initially I'm declaring x as 0. Okay, nothing more than that, x as 0. To access variable into the HTML page, you need to use 2 curly braces. Okay, 2 curly braces. Inside that you need to declare the variable name. Okay, technically it's called as expression. So inside the expression you need to give the variable name. You have any doubt here?
Okay.
Okay, I just save the file so it will reflect on the output. So then we will start few more code. Okay, I'm going to create 2 function. One is for increase and one is for decrease. Okay, so when the users click the increase button, I'm going to increase the x value. So you can utilize this dot x plus plus, or you can use this dot x equal to this dot x plus 1, whatever it is. Okay, and the same thing. So this dot x is going to be this dot x minus minus. Okay, or you can utilize this dot x minus 1. Okay, so we have created some function, right? So I need to call this function through the HTML. When the users click this button, I need to call. So to make the click event within a bracket, you need to call click. These are the predefined. Okay, so usually in traditional coding we use on click, right? So on click is replaced with the click. Okay, some syntax will be new. Okay, just have a look on the syntax. Okay, and I'm just calling increase. Okay, so when the users click this button, the increase will call. So what we write inside of that, increase will increase the value of 1. So same thing, we can do it for the decrease also. Okay, so let's see the output. So make sure it should build on the terminal. Okay, so if it is build finished only, you can see the output, otherwise it will show the error. Okay, when I click this increase, can you notice the value is increased, right? And if I click decrease, the value is decreasing. Do you have any doubt here? Do you have any doubt?
No.
No.
Okay, okay. Okay, I think this is enough today. Okay, I will share the code to all. Okay, try to replicate the same project on your machine. Okay,
Mhm. Sure.
just to create a click counter and use the component. And I will give some tasks, yesterday task only. So have a look on the component and so create a new project, and that project you can try to implement it. Okay,
Yeah.
try to utilize some batches or
Sundar,
yeah.
if you want to display that number in the middle of the screen or position,
Yeah.
we can
Yeah,
say
we can
where
utilize that. So just go to the H1. You can still write your CSS code. Okay,
CSS.
text align center. So if it is a single tag, you can do it. Or if you want to make a class name, go to the SAS file. Here you can declare it.
Okay. Is it the same for all the components also, right?
Yes, we can utilize that. Here you can see it's centered aligned. Okay, so if you want to increase the font width, you can do it.
Okay. CSS. Okay.
Yeah. So make sure all files should be saved and the terminal should be built successfully. Okay. Okay. Let's make some. So why we are writing error record. Okay, I will make some errors. Okay, in TypeScript there is no semicolon. Okay, so whether you put a semicolon or not a semicolon, it doesn't matter. Okay, no semicolon on the TypeScript. Okay. Okay, I will make some mistake. Okay, so I just save the file. If you are using the Visual Code, I will tell some plugin you can install that. Okay, so you can see the error immediately here. At the same time, you can see the error on the terminal also. Okay, this is the advantage of the TypeScript. So usually in JavaScript, we never see the error like this. Okay, so if you make a mistake, immediately you can see the mistakes on the terminal. Okay, so you can fix it. And if you create some variable, you can have some warning also. So I created a variable called y, but I'm not utilizing that. Sometime I will get some warning also. Okay, I think as of now it's not showing a warning, but when you are making a final production, it will throw warning. You have declared y, but you are not utilized the y. Okay, so you can remove the y. So it saves some little bit of bytes. Okay, so this is the advantage of the TypeScript. So do you have any doubt here?
No.
Okay, guys. Okay. Okay, so this. So what is the mail you are using for your office? Is that Gmail or some third party?
Some third party messages.
Okay.
Outlook.
So everyone have a Gmail account, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I will create some drive as a shared folder. You can utilize that. Okay. Okay, so whenever I'm sharing the code, I will share only the SRC folder. Okay, so I just compose the SRC and you will get the share folder. Okay, so if you want to replicate the SRC folder, create a new project, delete your existing SRC folder and replace with it. Okay, it will run. Okay, can everyone share your email ID on the WhatsApp? A
Sure.
Gmail ID, okay?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.